Hey guys, this is Camfrey15 back at it with another video for you guys, and I'm back with another My Hero Academia manga chapter review for you guys. For I think I'm just gonna call these My Hero Academia Sundays. Where in this chapter we covered in chapter 344, I believe. No, 334. A little bit too far ahead. Where we essentially get the aftermath of this whole Shigaraki versus Star and Stripe fight. So let's get into it. So the first page we see, well, Cassie and stuff like that. And the chapter is titled Parting Gift. Now, after the aftermath, we all know that Star and Stripe is fighting within the All for One quirk itself. Of the standpoint, it's literally ripping up and taking out all these quirks in Shigaraki's body left and right. So what is happening is Shigaraki actually took and stole the quirk of the Nomu, which we find out to give him the Nomu wings, and he's flying away. Now the jets are trying to keep up with the fighter jets are trying to keep up with him, and they're trying not to let him get away. But Shigaraki is going too fast, and Shigaraki in this whole thing is like, I need to find somebody to give New Order to. Otherwise, I'm gonna be reduced to nothing, because obviously the quirk of Star and Stripe of New Order is fighting within the inside of All for One. This whole thing is going on. It's like, years ago, a Japanese student abroad saved me. I went for 8 tufts of hair once again, and it's just All for One just reminiscency, like, she's giving me All Might vibes, just too much. Now, Shigaraki's going to say, no matter what move I make, there you are. Essentially hinting at, like, I can never get rid of All Might. That's mostly the All for One personality talking within Shigaraki. Because obviously, All for One's like, I thought this guy was retired. For some reason, this guy's always getting in my plans. It's always the spirit of All Might. Something. Anyways, Shigaraki jets away so fast that the fighter jets can't catch up, and that's it and everything. And now one of the fighter jet pilots going to say, Star and Stripe, of course you surpassed him. You've always been the greatest hero. Now I kind of decline that or refute that point, because it's like, dude, the greatest hero from what we know in My Hero Academia has always been All Might. Yes, I'm not trying to say Star and Stripe must have not been a really great hero, but I don't think she holds a candle to what All Might could do. So we'll see. Anyways, we cut over to this one little like area off the coast, and we see that, I'm guessing, this couple that are actually convicts from jail, who were let free with all the jails being broken out free and everything, and they're kind of just like chilling and everything. They kind of don't want to go back to doing the life of crime. They're like, you know what, I don't want to go back, so let's kind of just chillax for a bit and just enjoy and kind of live out in peace and do something like that. And you see this one guy named Kashiko Kashi, who is a convicted robber and murderer. He kind of says, he's like, listen, I'm going to use my second life as a chance to freaking just chillax, relax, and enjoy my life. I'm not trying to go back to jail. Lo and behold, Shigaraki comes in, actually decays their wall, and he looks like a deranged fool because all the quirks being ripped up out of him and stuff like that. Now, they think it's a hero, but it's not. And Shigaraki sees him, and Shigaraki thinks about this. He's like, Miss Star is likely assigned a new rule to her quirk that prevents it from residing among other quirks. In that case, I'll steal this bystander's quirk. Once he's quirkless, I can grant him New Order and preserve it. Now, that's whole Shigaraki's plan. But then all of a sudden in the Vestus world, Star and Stripe goes on to talk and say, New Order revolts against other quirks. Thanks to all those other quirks inside you, my little revolt was the death of me. It's a real shame I couldn't kill you and finish the job. But here are some words of wisdom to remember, John Doe. As long as people stand up to save each other, someone will inherit that hero or that will of heroism. And make no mistake, they will strike you down. Essentially, Star and Stripe are the soul of Star and Stripe, is essentially telling All For One, like, listen, you think you're going to get away with all of this and stuff like this, but you're not. There will be somebody to stop you, and when they do, it's going to happen. Your fall will be coming. Essentially, I guess you can say in a way, hinting at the fact that Deku's going to be the one to take All For One and Shigaraki down. The panel of where it turns Star and Stripes from her just skin face to like a legit like skeleton. It's crazy. Now, I don't know. Now it just disappears. Now I don't know if that means I'm guessing maybe the essence of Star and Stripes' New Order quirk is gone, so he doesn't have the powers to New Order. I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if New Order's still in his arsenal, but it's seemingly, we know that, well, Star and Stripe took out not a great number, I'd say a pretty big number of quirks within All For One in Shigaraki. So it's going to be freaking interesting to say the least of what's going to happen there, and what quirks did he lose and everything. So that's the thing. Now, All For One replies by saying, give it a rest. The winner is the one who lives the longest. So take a hike, dead lady. And that's when frickin' Star and Stripe eventually disintegrates. And then within like all these frickin' I guess hands we see a Tenko Shimura say some hero. And Tenko Shimura, covered by all these hands, and honest to God, symbolic way of how Shigaraki's always looked in the series from what we saw him, he goes on to make a mention of Midoriya. So I don't know if that means he's going to be targeting Midoriya. Well, what am I saying? Obviously, he's going to be targeting Midoriya. I'm stupid. I don't know if that's a way of Tenko Shimura's kind of will trying to break through all this. And I kind of like the whole paneling of the hands around. It's kind of like the hands are trying to keep Tenko Shimura down and keep that personality, his old self, down and say, you don't need this. There's a chance, it's kind of like a way of the fact where All For One always told him, listen, I'm the only one who was here to come get you. There was no other hero that was willing to come out and save you and be there for you. And we all know the whole thing that Midoriya wants to do is to save Shigaraki and stuff like that, because he feels like, he feels like he's being trapped or controlled by All For One. And we know definitely that Deku wants to do his best to save him, because we all know from the Shigaraki backstory that I guarantee you, and a lot of people said this, I guarantee you that Deku was a pro hero at the time. He probably would have helped out Shigaraki based on what the condition he was in, because we know Deku's the type of hero that is willing to save anybody, whether it's hero, villain, or indifference. Hell, you even saw in the freaking My Hero Academia World Mission movie, he was willing to help out. Essentially, you could say a cat burglar, and actually make him change for the better. Now, I'm not saying that will happen for Shigaraki. Personally, I am of the opinion I want Deku to at least try, but Shigaraki, when he gets back in his right mindset after being lashed off from All For One, I can definitely see it to where Shigaraki's like, maybe if you saw him, maybe if I was younger, I would have believed you, but at this point, I need everything destroyed. It's over, and then you have the final climactic battle. I'd rather go take that approach. But it's very interesting. It's seeming like maybe the Tenko Shimura personality within Shigaraki is like, I need him and something like that. So it's gonna be very interesting to see where this goes and everything. Now, we get some monologuing going on about what's the events taking place. It goes on to say the hunt for Shigaraki resumed immediately. Evidence of a struggle was discovered, but the villain had once again vanished without a trace, leaving the authorities back at square one. The entire world learned of the #1 American hero's death that very day, with the knowledge that even the hero currently hailed as the strongest had fallen to this threat, nations of the world back down. And we cut over to Egypt, where Salim is talking to his whole, government. He's like, please just send me to Japan. I want to do whatever I can to help. But essentially, we kind of find out that because of Star and Stripes' death happening, most of the countries around the world, no, all the countries around the world are like, America sent their number one hero and she died. It seems like this guy, this threat in Japan is strong, is stronger than we all thought. Yeah, let's we're not gonna send our heroes. We'll just say to our heroes, like, well, they're kind of in their infrastructure of hero society is kind of downgraded, so there's nothing we can do. They got no freaking hero safety commission to, do the papers and everything. Essentially, other governments are not going to send their top heroes to Japan, which, okay, that's fine and all, but it's like, well, if Shigaraki ever took over Japan, what's it say he wouldn't try to take over the world? So it's like, I guess you can say I guess you can say it's like, how can I say it? You can essentially say it's like the governments are like, we're not gonna mess with this now, but we eventually know we have to later. And that's my thing. It's like, but you guys might have to deal with this later, so why would you be so reluctant? Now, again, obviously it's because they don't want crime within their own country to go haywire and stuff like that, but it's like, kind of sucks how these countries are kind of leaving Japan out to dry and not even willing to help anymore. So it's like, wow, you're just gonna let an entire country just die? You're not gonna do anything? I'm like, man, they were so united in the World Heroes mission. No, it's like, no, we can't help out with this situation and stuff like that. Anyways, one of the fighter jets pilots were like, but Star's death wasn't in vain. Now, All Might actually makes a mention of the fact that he seemed like he knew Star and Stripe personally, on a personal level, and they actually met each other, in person when she was a hero. And because All Might says, I wish I could have seen Cassie again. So obviously he's destroyed that now. The pilot says each X-66 we rode on holds data from the battle. They were recording each biosignature and analyzing every quirk during the fight. Hopefully that data will provide a lead. No way you folks don't already have people studying that monster, right? So we cut over in the last 2 pages of the chapter where All Might goes to 1A's dorm, and he goes on to say the following day, and this is taking place 2 days after Midoriya finally got back to UA. And we find out there's actually an extension. Now, All Might says, yes, originally tomorrow was the day Shigaraki would have had a perfected body, but now he'll be coming out, but he'll be out of commission for at least a week. As a parting gift, Star and Stripe bought us this time. We'll use this time to our advantage and we'll take down Shigaraki and All for One. Obviously, the chapter ends off with, I guess you can say, the new big 3 of Deku, Bakugo, and Todoroki. Deku looking like he has some renewed passion to try to put this. So it's seeming like the final battle is drawing near. So yeah, it'll be very interesting. There is no break next week. Next week there will be another chapter review. Shocking, especially on Thanksgiving week. But then again, Japan, they don't celebrate Thanksgiving. It's only a US holiday anyways. But it's interesting to say the least to see where the story is going. And we're definitely seemingly getting to the end game of the series a lot faster than I thought it was. But yeah, listen, I thought this chapter was all right for the most part. It was just kind of just something to slow down all the chaos and hecticness we've been getting the last couple of chapters, and just getting the aftermath of this fight and what's going to be entailed. So yeah, in terms of the next chapter, I wonder if we're going to cut over to the villain side and see what happens there and everything, or maybe we just get some just training montages and stuff like that, and we get a time skip. So it's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen next. But I thought the chapter was alright. Nothing too grand scheme, but it was just an alright, slow down chapter where it's just, okay, we can kind of take a sigh of relief, breathe a bit, and just wait for the next chapter. But other than that, if you guys like the video, leave a like. Put in the comment section your thoughts on this week's manga chapter of My Hero Academia, as well as hit that subscribe button for more My Hero Academia content or any other anime content I upload to the channel. Yesterday I reviewed the 1000th episode of One Piece, gave my thoughts on that episode, and just I guess my thoughts on One Piece as a series too, and how great it is. And then two, later today, I will upload Black Clover, my Black Clover manga chapter reactions to 273 to 279. That will go up sometime later today. So if you are Black Clover fans, look forward to getting my first, time reactions to chapters I haven't read yet after I got done watching the anime. So yeah, eventually I'll catch up with the manga, and then there will be weekly manga chapter reviews. So other than that, that's kind of it. So I'm MacGyver. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day or night. I'm going to check out this video. Until then, guys, see you guys in the next video. Peace.